the 5 Star Revolution podcast with your host, CJ Price. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel right now, 5 Star Revolution Podcast. Turn on your notifications and go over to Facebook right now. Just type it in, folks. 5 Star Revolution Podcast. Like and share our page. Tonight, we have a very special guest all the way from San Diego, California. He is Big Body French JF3000. How you doing tonight, sir?
Great. Doing great. Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for joining me here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. No problem. So let's start from the beginning here. I asked this question to pretty much every wrestler that comes on my podcast. Everyone has a different story, so I want to hear your story. How'd you get into wrestling? Were you a wrestling fan as a child, or what's going on?
Yeah, it's funny. I was a wrestling fan as a child. I was the kid, you know what I mean? I brought wrestling toys to school, you know what I mean? I was so into it as a child that I wanted to always bring it around me. And then when you get older, you just developed and when you love things, you develop like a niche and like a want for more. And growing up, it was really only WWE, WCW. I'm only 29, but WCW, ECW, they had gone through what they went through, and then WWE was kind of like dominating, so people really knew about WWE. So when I got to a certain age, maybe like 12, 13, 14, I really started to get into indie wrestling, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I can do this, because at the end of the day, sorry about that. At the end of the day, it's just like anybody can do this. You know what I mean? You could do anything. It didn't even have to be wrestling. You just have to put your mind to it. Like, another thing about me is I used to be over 400 pounds. So that was another determining factor of me to change the life that I live, to do what I want to do now. And after that, man, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it was just like, in my mind, I was like, I could accomplish anything. Like, whatever I put my mind to, I can accomplish. And I've met so many great people in this industry, and I just fallen in love with it. I've only been in it for a year, and I just fallen in love with it ever since.
So who were your favorites growing up when you were a kid?
Oof, my favorites growing up as a kid. Um, I like the New Age Outlaws. I was always a fan of The Rock. I was always a fan of Triple H, Shawn Michaels. People that I really gravitated towards was, a bit more of the African American athletes. Booker T was one of my favorite. I actually got to meet him. I was awesome. Kenny King was honestly another guy that was my favorite. He trains me, and that he's such a great guy. You know what I mean? It's I never thought I would have this opportunity. And those are some of the, and Devon Dudley. Those are like some of the guys that I really looked up to, because, well, The Rock too, but those are some of the guys I really looked up to, because, as a brown faced man, I didn't see a lot of brown faces in WWE. So after venturing out and finding out, New Jack and all these other guys, I was just like, wow, you know what I mean? This is something that I can do. Like, a kid from a small street in California could be bigger than life in a wrestling organization, or in every wrestling organization, if you work hard enough.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that, my friend. So, how'd you find out about wrestling school in your area, and how'd you get into the wrestling school? Who was your trainer to begin with?
Oh, it's funny. When I was about 17, 18, I wanted to start wrestling, but I was overweight and I was lazy. Like, you know what I mean? So I really wanted to go to WWA4, which was in Atlanta. Mr. Hughes was the head trainer at that time, but I was just too lazy. I lived in California. I was like, how can I make it to Atlanta? Just didn't really have the drive. As I got older, things kind of started falling into place. I met B-Boy, a wonderful person. I really love that man. He really took me under his wing and let me train at his facility until I was like, you know what, I want more. Like, you know what I mean? And then that's when I went to FSW. And I love B-Boy. He's a great person, and he's taught me so much. But I feel like FSW has changed the way I think about wrestling. I feel like when I first went to FSW, it was all about the moves, being a great wrestler. But now for me, I'm one of the biggest guys in the school at the moment. I mean, there's a lot of big guys that come around, but I'm still in that category. Like, you know what I mean? I'm heavyweight material, and that's what they told me. They were like, we're going to teach you to be heavyweight material. You know what I mean? You're going to be that monster that you need to be. And ever since then, working with the one of the best people I've ever met in my life, Sin Bodie, and Kenny King and Cutthroat Cody and all these guys, Remy Marcel, just working with all these guys, just helping me. You know, another guy that really put a lot of insight, how to be a big man, was Jay Vidal, who has nowhere near that. Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people are in my side, and I just feel very blessed to be able to.
So you mentioned that you were lazy, you were a fat 400-pound guy. What got
Yes.
you motivated to get into wrestling? Like, what got into your head? Hey, I need to start doing this now before it's too late.
Just like I said, meeting B-Boy. Like, I met B-Boy, and he was like, we're gonna get you ring ready. And once I got ring ready, I still had, you know what I mean, like some here and there. But I was like, you know what, like, I'm 6'4". I was about 260. You know what I mean? I was like, let me bulk up, get some muscle, and however I feel about that, wherever I get, you know what I mean. After that, let's go on a good cutting phase. So I've always been in the gym. I've always been like a bodybuilder, but wrestling has really brought out the great bodybuilder in me, because now I'm on a bulking season and my bulk is just insane right now.
Yeah, I can tell that you're in great shape, man. So what's your workout regimen? What do you do in the gym nowadays?
Um, I just switched it up. I normally, like, wrestling is all about leg work and leg workouts, and me, I was more of a upper body guy. Like, you know what I mean? I was lazy. I was like, you know, and I can still say I'm a little lazy now. You know what I mean? Like, being tired in the gym and, I just want to do what I'm comfortable with. But with working out and with maturing and with evolving, you kind of bring a sense of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I've gotten my squats, my deadlifts, all that, they sucked, you know what I mean, months ago. But now working with a great guy like another guy that took me under his wing, who I should never have forgotten to even say anything about, was Super Beast. Love that guy to death. Like, I feel like that's one of the guys that really helped me out being in Vegas. And just him taking me under his wing, I was like, you know what? There's other side of this workout world that I can do. Deadlift, squats. You know what I mean? I could do a lot of cardio. I could do a lot of Pilates and stuff like that. I don't have to just do the big man heavy stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And he really just changed my mind on the workout aspect as a whole.
So just 1 year in the business, you're still a rookie, you're still learning the ropes and stuff. How do you deal with backstage politics when you go to a show?
Uh, Backstage, it really depends, because it just depends on where you're at. Like, you know what I mean? Say if you're at somewhere like Impact, you know, people are gonna have more of a entitlement. You know what I mean? If that's the best politically correct word to say, than going to somewhere like Versus, like, you know what I mean? Like everybody there knows what their job is, and everybody there knows that they have to fulfill their job. And if you don't fulfill your job, then, you know, you may not be booked, or you may not be asked to come back. But places like, you know, like the big wigs, you know, they're going to let you know it. They're going to let everybody around you know it. They're going to let your trainers know it. They're going to let you know that, you know what I mean, you were the shits, or that you messed up at this certain point in time, but you will not know in that point in time. You will know months later, weeks later, after you had heat. Like, you know what I mean, which is not really a good thing. But that's how I guess the business goes.
I totally agree, man. You gotta watch what you say and watch who you hang out with in
Yes.
backstage.
Watching who you hang out with, because some of these guys, you'll talk to some of these guys about some of these other guys, and some of the guys you talk to about these other guys will be best friends with those guys. And it's just like, they'll go back, and it's just like, you know, like the best analogy I could use for this is roaches to crumbs on the ground. Like, you know what I mean? They just go back with all the little information, and now this guy thinks you're a piece of whatever. You know what I mean? Because you had a little, you know, comment about something that they did in the ring, or just something that rubbed you the wrong way, how they treated a fan, or how they treated a trainee of yours, or, you know what I mean, like someone that you like train with, like, oh, this guy, blah blah, whatever. You say, oh, I don't really like how that guy did that. They'll go back and be, oh, you know, this guy, he's with this guy. Like, it's like I don't really want to say it's clicked up, but it's more or less people, like, you know, like a friendship thing. Like, people have their friends, just like I feel like it's not a good word to use, but it's like high school. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like it's not really a great word to use, but it's just like, you know, you have your friends. You're gonna let your friends know if somebody's saying something behind their back. And this guy, you know, like I said, you go to a brand new school. This guy might be oh, like, you know, you seem cool. Let me talk to you. You know, oh, you know, now I want to get something off my chest that is not really serious to me, but you're serious to you because that's your boy, and that boy might be main event talent, might be the title, like might be the guy holding the title, and he can go to the owner or go to the guy that's doing all the booking and everything. But I don't want this guy here anymore, and they're going to listen to him.
Do you think training with Simbodi and Kenny King gives you an advantage on getting bookings?
No, because they are the realest people I've ever met. Uh, and I say that with they're not gonna push you unless you're ready. I feel like I've been ready for a very long time, but there's something that they see, or maybe it's just my pure size over so many people that are trainees right now. I'm not really working with anybody around my size. There's only a couple guys like Duke Lawrence, Dave Burns, who are really like around my size, who I really get in there and just I get to show my facial expressions. I get to show how strong and powerful they can be. You know what I mean? When everything else is me. I'm destroying a small guy. He has to come act and blah, blah, blah.
So would you say that your size is a disadvantage then?
I would say it's a disadvantage until people understand and know who I am, and then it's going to be an advantage.
I
As,
mean, if you're a big monster heel and you're going in the ring, your size is gonna show it all, man.
yes, yes. But wrestling is all about safety, and a lot of people are scared. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, like, is this guy safe? Is this guy this? But I've wrestled with guys like Brett the Threat, who's like, oh, bro, like, you're one of the safest big men I've ever wrestled. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like you have to get in there with me and see how I work.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. So let's talk about the JF3000 character. What is that all about, and what does it mean?
The JF3000 character, it's all about who I was in a past life. Like, I kind of created it off of one of my favorite video games, the Def Jam Fight for New York. I wanted to have a kind of like a street character that did wrestling moves, but he was also like a heavy hitter. And if you know about that game, then you just know that that game was from the streets, and it had rappers like Scarface, you know what I mean, Nore, Ludacris, all those kind of guys, and they were all getting in there with their different fighting styles, whether it was Muay Thai, wrestling, you know what I mean, and they did their thing, and that's what I wanted to bring to the table. I wanted to bring the I used to do a lot of music before I came into wrestling. So in my mind, I was like, if I could kind of merge the world, not really do music in wrestling, you know, not like that boy Chris Bay who's killing it, but you know what I mean, do music and wrestling. Not really do music and wrestling, but do like the concept of a Def Jam character. You know what I mean, getting out of jail. Like I used to fight in the underground circuit, so I kind of brought that to the my character as he, you know what I mean, used to fight in the underground circuit, and now his thing is the circuit's gone. He went to jail, he got out, now he has no means of making money, but his whole purpose in life is to hurt people and to get revenge on what happened to his family. So that's basically like the gist of my character. That's like a very like small cusp of my character.
So basically, you got a big chip on your shoulder.
Basically, a big chip on my shoulder. My favorite line to say is big bully shit, because I'm out here trying to bully everybody I can. Like I said, when I get in the ring with those guys that are my size, that's when I can show my character of, oh, this guy is fucking, you know, he can be funny as well as be a brute, but it's going to take a certain size guy to bring it out of him, you know?
So what's the JF mean though?
Oh, the JF, it doesn't really have a meaning to it. It's basically just a rip off my name. I kind of wanted it to sound like I was like a robot or something, so I was like, let me just put two random letters together, bring a 3000, and show how much of a big machine that I am. You know what I mean? I wanted to be also like I wanted to be a like a devastating factor, but also like a machine. Like, you know, it's gonna take a lot to take me down, and it's also gonna take a lot to keep me there.
Okay, sounds good. So this is the part of the podcast where I ask the wrestler to cut a promo for me
Mhm.
in character for like 30 seconds if you can on anything you want.
Okay, that's perfect. You right? You ready?
I'm ready, man.
JF3000. I'm the one that's coming. I'm the one that's going to destroy the competition, because when you get in that ring with me, the only thing that matters is pain. The only thing that matters is suffering. I've suffered for so long in my life, and I've done so many horrible things. But you need to understand that in the end, you will suffer too. So ask yourself one question: are you going to get down, or are you going to lay down?
I love that, man. That was really good, man. That was really good. So, I want to talk about the tattoos you have on your body, man. Looks like you're all tatted up. What's the
Yeah.
stories on your tattoos?
Story behind my tattoos. I just started getting a whole bunch of tattoos. You know what I mean? Like when I was 17, I got my big body French. That's my thing. That's my last name. So I use that. That's that's where the F comes from. But yeah, I started getting tattooed at a younger age. I was getting into it, doing a whole bunch of dumb things. You know what I mean? I don't know how PG this is, but I was doing a whole bunch of dumb things in my life. Like I said, I went to jail for a little bit. Um, and then after that, I was just like, if I was getting a lot of ink, and after that, I was like, if I get more ink, I want to represent my culture. I want to represent my people. You know what I mean? I have the words "can't cut my roots" across my chest with Amen Ra and Anubis on there. I have a whole eternity cross down here. I'll have a whole bunch of African work, and it just reminded me of like Latinos and Hispanics, to where they would get like Aztecs and like just different things that would represent their culture. And I just thought that was such a beautiful thing, because as a black, during the time that I got all this as a black man, black people didn't really know about themselves. And I was like, I know about myself. I'm Haitian and I'm African, so I was like, I know about myself. I need to respect that, and respect my body with my history, because if somebody, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, no, I'm not. Because I know who I am. But a lot of people don't know who they are, and I feel like that's more the concept on all these tattoos. This one, ugly as hell, is one of the first tattoos I got. It looks like it's cracked out lion, but you know what I mean? It's just, you live and you learn. I got this like around the same time, maybe like 17, 18 when I got this. A lot of these other things are brand new pieces, which is why they probably look so much better. I have my daughter's name right here. I just had a son on the 11th of last month. I'm definitely waiting to get his feet
Oh.
tattooed. And yeah, it's I'm inked up. Yeah.
So you got two kids, you have a shoot job, and you wrestle. How do you
Yeah.
balance that, man? How do you balance life?
Oh, it's hard. You know what I mean? Having a wife as well is hard. It's definitely hard balancing it. Like, she's definitely my rock. She definitely helps me out a lot. You know what I mean? Like, just building me up, and just knowing that there's a bigger cause, and a bigger picture at the end of all this.
Absolutely, man. You have to have support in
Yes.
this business and in life to make it far,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Speaking of that, speaking of support and stuff, how do you get the crowd into your matches, into your promos? How do you get? I know you only a year into the business, but I know you're trying to figure it out.
Mhm. Yeah. It's funny because well, I personally, I don't have to do much. Like, you know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing about being 6'4", 240 pounds, going on, trying to be 260 pounds. I just got to look at the crowd a certain way, and they know exactly how to feel. You know what I mean? I do a lot of heel stuff. Like I was telling a couple guys the other day, I was like, I feel like a guy like me is going to have to be beat, or is going to have to be shown into being basically like a baby face in this business, because every time I go to the ring, all I gotta do is one yell, "Ah!" and people are like scared. You know what I mean? It's like, that's it. That's all I gotta do. I'm like, okay,
So it's easy for you, easy to get a reaction from the crowd.
yeah, it's easy to get. Yeah, yeah.
So do you have merch yet,
I have,
or
I don't have merch made, but I have merch in the process of being made. Yes.
okay? So I would love to see that because as a heel, I believe that you sell more merch as a heel
Yeah, I believe that too. Because
because
the thing about it is, people don't like you, but they're
exactly
like, I do like him. You know, they're like, I like him, but I don't want him to know that I like him.
they love to hate you.
That's it. That's the question. That's the answer right there. That's the answer.
So JF3000. I know you said that you've been trained by Sin Bodhi and Kenny King. Have you shared the ring with any legends or wrestlers that we might know?
I've gotten the ring with Cal Jack. I've done a little running around with Simbodi. I've done a little running. I've had a match with Cutthroat Cody. These are all like local guys. Not well, Super Beast is international, but Cutthroat Cody's a local LV guy. I haven't really got the chance to bless the ring with B-Boy, but I know that would be insane, because he's such a strong style guy, and I'm bringing it if you're bringing it. You know what I mean? Uh, that's about it. I haven't really got the chance to know.
Okay, not a problem, man. I'm sure eventually you will.
Yes. Oh yes.
So being a 6'4", 240-pound dude in the wrestling business, I know it's fun to wrestle smaller guys because you could just throw them around and
Yes.
do whatever.
Yes. It
Can you
is.
explain? Can you explain the difference between wrestling somebody your size and a smaller guy?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Wrestling, like I said, that wrestling somebody my size, I would still like to show a lot of strengths. But if I'm wrestling somebody my size, I'm becoming the luchador. Like you know what I mean? I want to bounce off the ropes. I want to do all the high flying, the drop kicks, all that. I want to make myself look athletic. You know what I mean? Because I that's one thing I never really get a chance to do. Is make myself look super athletic. People are like, "Oh, you're so strong, you're so this." But when I get up there and I'm able to drop kick someone that's 6'6", you're like, "Jesus Christ!" You know what I mean? But wrestling small people, I love it because as a wrestler, you know that, you know what I mean, putting yourself in certain spots, you know what I mean? Not just like a spot to where, oh, we're going to do this, blah, 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 duck this, blah, blah. Putting yourself in certain hope spots or putting yourself, I don't even know if I can say that. I don't know who's going to watch this, but just putting yourself in certain spots in the match. Like if I'm a heel and I can give you a hope spot, like, you know what I mean? Like pick you up for a body slam, just chuck it over my shoulder. And I know you're going to, as soon as I turn around, you know, if you're smart enough, you're going to give me something. Like, you know what I mean? Cut me off right there. And then boom, I'll cut you right back off. It's just, it's easy. Like, you know what I mean? It's easy to do those kind of things. Especially if I was working face and I was working a guy bigger than me, then I would do the same things. I would I would, maybe give him some and then try to pick him up. And I would hope for him to be at least 50, 60, or at least look like he's that much heavier than me. So I can put myself into certain spots to get cut off, if you know what if you know what I mean.
I totally agree, man. I used to be a wrestler myself in my area, and when I wrestle bigger dudes than me, I used to love it because we can do so many things. You know
Yes.
what
And
I'm saying?
it's so long, I can base everything. Yeah, what do you want to do, brother? You want to do a hair karate? You want to do all the stuff you don't normally do? Let's do it.
Right, right. Very true. So, JF3000, who's your dream opponent? Who do you want to step in the ring with?
Dream opponent? Whew. Uh,
Somebody active.
oh, yes, somebody act. Oh, that's going to be. To be honest, I want to work everybody. I watch a lot of championship wrestling. I would love to work Chris Masters. I would love to work JTG. I would love to work Sin Bodhi. You know what I mean? I would love to work Kenny King. Just if I was able to work anybody, like first, I probably wouldn't work my trainers. I would love to work B Boy. I would love to work Michael Hopkins. There's a lot of guys that I would love to work right now. But if I were to get into a certain point, actually, you know who I would also love to work, who would probably be very easy to work, probably Nick Wayne. I would love to work Nick Wayne. There's a lot of guys, like, you know what I mean. I just can't. I feel like I can't put the nail on the head. I'm just like a wrestling enthusiast, and anybody that knows what they're doing, I would love to get in the ring with them because it's just so much easier when you're working with somebody that knows what they're doing than some people that don't really know what they're doing. So I can't really call it on that. I feel like it's like because everybody's gonna bring a different story out. You know, everybody's gonna bring a different move out of me. Everybody's gonna bring a different facial expression out of me. And just for the love of the business, those are the things I look for. Like, you know what I mean? I can go back to this match and be like, wow, he brought that out of me. Or I can go back to this match and be like, wow, like we were really chopping the shit out of each other. Like, you know what I mean? Excuse my language.
No, that's okay, man. You can swear on this podcast. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay, okay. I've been
So pretty much you're saying that you have an open challenge for anybody that's willing to step in the ring with you.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's the perfect way to say it. Hopefully you have a time to play with the title.
So, a couple more questions before I let you go, Mr. Bodie. I mean, sorry, Mr. I have Mr. Bodie in my head.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
3000. What can we expect out of you in the next 3 years? What's in your future?
Next 3 years. Uh, with the way I'm going right now, uh, sky's the limit. Like, you know what I mean. My boy Super Beast, I love that guy to death. I know he wants to take me international, so that's like Philippines, Mexico. He's always down at Crash, and I would love to crash. Um, as well as getting to understand and learn about, not really learn about, but understand and connect with D'Lo Brown a little bit more because I haven't really got to connect with him, even though he's such a big polarizing figure at FSW. Just getting to talk with him and getting maybe a shot at Impact. ROH is not really there anymore. I was never really a WWE guy. I love WWE, but I really wouldn't care to work for their company. You know, that's just me personally. If they gave me the opportunity, I'm taking it. But that's not somewhere I'm like, oh, I'm going to give you my resume first. You know what I mean? I would like Impact ROH was me. I was always the indie, the wrestler's wrestler. Like that was always me until I actually got into the business, and now I'm the character's character. You know, but I feel like anywhere, man, sky's the limit. That's what I feel like.
I feel like I can see you in MLW.
Oh, I wish I would have said MLW because I love MLW. That is a big boy for me. To me,
I think I can see that in your future, my friend, for sure.
I would love MLW, and I would love to go work with what the hell is his name again? Um,
Myron Reed.
oh, Myron Reed would be great. I feel like Tankman. I feel like I would have a great match with Tankman. I've met Hammerstone. I haven't really.
Hammerstone. I was gonna say you and Hammerstone would kill it.
Yes, I would love to work Hammerstone. I would love to work Hammerstone. I would love to work Joseph Patu.
Yes,
I mean, there's a lot of big guys I would love to work on MLW.
absolutely, man.
I think people sleep on MLW. Don't sleep on MLW.
Don't, man. That promotion
I
is gonna
would
be
take that in a heartbeat.
that promotion is gonna be a big thing in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and the way, what's his name again? The guy that runs it, the way he runs it,
I think he's an old WWE
yeah,
producer.
yeah, that dude, the way he runs it. That's how wrestling should be ran. In my eyes, that's how wrestling should be ran.
I agree, man.
Exactly how it should be ran.
So my last question for you, Mr. JF3000, is you said you've been to jail, you've been through rough times, you've done some stupid mistakes in your life. Would you say that wrestling has changed your life? And if so, in what sense?
Yes, wrestling has changed my life, and for the better, because being a kid from anywhere, anywhere that's poverty or low income area, you know what I mean. You don't really have a lot of escapes or way out other than jail or death or going to college. And I'm not really a guy that cares to have all that debt, and I'm not really a guy that cares to be in the ground or be in jail right now. So my thing was I need to find something that I love and that I can be a part of. I, excuse me, I've always loved wrestling. Damn, I've always loved wrestling. And in my mind, I was like, if I can just make it somewhere to where somebody can see me, then I can show how much potential I have. And that's why I got to give so much love and so much grace to B-Boy, because he saw that in me. You know what I mean? And even if he didn't see it in me, he gave me a chance to show the world and show everybody what I could be and who I could become. Man, that's why I have to give it to him. Ever since then, I've been in a movie. You know what I mean? I've wrestled at certain different small little places, but those places are definitely gonna accumulate to where it's gonna be a big turnout and a big fulfillment at the end of it. So that's why I feel like I just have to give so much grace and so much love to B-Boy, man. He like I said, he put me he put his hand over me and was like, we got this. You know what I mean? And then when I had to move, people that put their hands over my shoulder was people like Joe DeFalco, people like Super Beast. That's another guy I really have to give him so much respect and love, because you know what I mean? Like people just don't care about you these days. You know what I mean? But when somebody sees something in you, they're like, I gotta nurture this, because if I don't nurture this, then this could be something larger than life. But he doesn't know that. So I have to be the one to show him that. And I just feel blessed that these guys were in my life. I just feel so blessed.
Well, I gotta say that those trainers that you had really got into your head, man, because I love your mentality and I love your attitude, and I hope you keep it going, my friend.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
So where can our listeners catch up with you on social media?
Oh, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, on I gotta get my YouTube started. I gotta get my YouTube better. But on TikTok, I'm Big French Fitness. On Instagram, I'm Big French JF3000. On Twitter, I'm the same thing. So I feel like if you just type in Big French Fitness, or Big French JF3000, you'll find me anywhere.
Well, there you go, folks. Go follow him on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever platform you have. Go follow my friend, Big Body French JF3000. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate you coming on the 5 Star Revolution podcast. It was a true pleasure, and I hope you come back on soon when you become a bigger star, my friend.
Oh yes, next time I come on, we'll definitely. I'll definitely have done a couple more things.
Maybe a title around your shoulder.
Yeah, maybe it'll make me want to be in character a little bit more.
All right, my friend. Sounds good. We
All
wish you
right,
the best of luck in your career. And all of you listeners, don't forget, join us on Facebook, 5 Star Revolution Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5 Star Revolution Podcast. JF3000, we wish you the best of luck in your career.
thank you, my brother.
Take care, my friend.
You too.